Christine, I'm guessing you see yourself as having been a victim in some way as well.
Well, I do. I think the answer is every sane person wants exactly the same outcome. We all do. We want no rapist to go unpunished, no sexual assaulter to go unpunished, but none of us want any totally innocent people to go through. Some people go to prison, and because they're innocent people and because they're there for rape, they get horrendously abused in prison. We all want the same outcome. The question is how we protect innocent men without shielding rapists.
But the problem is, of course, as we found out, and as you were saying, that that when you do put out the name of a potential perpetrator, then more people come forward, and then you begin to build a case against them.
Well, yeah, but that is assuming, A, that the man is guilty, and B, that he's a serial rapist. And the question we all have to answer from each side, and it's unanswerable, how many rapists will you allow to go free to protect innocent men? Or the other side of the coin is how many innocent men will you allow to go to prison to protect their anonymity? And it's unanswerable because you can't put a figure on it. You can't say, OK, well, I'll let 6 rapists go free as long as these people aren't charged.
Isn't there a halfway ground to be had here, sort of
that's what I think.
A middle ground to say, right, OK, when the police have a rock-solid case and the person is charged, unlike some quite apparently flaky cases that have destroyed people's careers, that, right, OK, this is rock solid. You know, this man is potentially a rapist. You're going to be charged with this, and now we'll release your name for the other victims to come forward.
I think the problem is that some of the cases that we have that seem quite flaky are exactly what the rapist has set out to do. One of the things that we always sort of seem to deny is that rapists plan their attacks. They do that, and they do it in so many different ways. It might be that they buy you a drink, they buy you several drinks. You know, that's one way a rapist will groom a victim before he actually forces them into rape or into a rape situation. And we deny this all the time because actually it's too uncomfortable for us to deal with. It's too uncomfortable for us to admit that we do actually have a lot of people out there committing serial rape. And where Christine said, you know, how many serial rapists do we have? Well, the problem is that most rapists are serial rapists, and we don't always know who the other victims are because through fear, through lack of support, for lots of other reasons, they will not come forward.
Merely for time, because these are all very valid points, but just reiterate that point. Isn't there a middle ground to be had? You say, right, you're charged, we have a very rock-solid case against you now, not a flaky case like some of the ones we've seen, so therefore this goes to the next step.
I think what I would say to that is how much danger do we put people in? How much danger do we put young men, young women, girls, men, older women?
Will you put women in danger by halting, by pausing, by waiting?
Well, yes, this comes back to my unanswerable question. Yes, you might put the odd woman or two or whatever, we don't know, in danger by halting or pausing, but the question is how many innocent men are you prepared to sacrifice? And just because you're not on the mainstream media and all over the national newspapers, your personal life, your local life is destroyed if you're on the front page of your local paper. It happens to ordinary men up and down the land, and the pendulum has got to swing back a little bit more in favour of innocent men.